Welcome into Extra Time. Craig, this is the last thing you're going to do before you go on the holiday.
Yep.
What a moment. Gab Markovsky's been waiting.
I'm actually technically on holiday. I was on holiday yesterday.
Really? Oh, so what happened?
I got called in.
Oh.
What a player. What a player.
What a team player.
What a player.
Beautiful.
Late replacement, sub. Super sub.
Stuck for himself.
What a performance you've put in.
Subbed in.
Gab's here. It's late in London, Gab. You've been waiting around a long time, haven't you?
I have. I'm sad. I just come back from my holiday just as Craig goes off on his. We're like ships passing in the night, Craig.
Gab, I haven't got your patience. Sorry. I was looking at him there. Thanks.
You would have walked off, yeah?
I haven't got... Sorry?
You would have gone.
When I was back in London doing what Gab's doing, I would have gone. But I've been sitting over 20 minutes of silence and no connection from the US here. It was cables out, home.
But don't you think we know that?
Sitting listening to you lot babbling away for an hour and a half, I'd have been gone. Totally gone.
There you go.
I've done it.
And we thought...
I know you've done it.
No, but I mean, I've done all that sitting there for that time. It's ridiculous. Producer wants to have a look at himself. Freaking idiot.
Gab's in his shorts, though. We saw earlier.
Ooh.
He's comfortable. He's happy.
That's not... I don't want to see it.
Don't you want to see... What, do you want to see Gab's legs?
I'm in my own home.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well done.
I know you're in your own home.
Right, when will one of you finally suggest to replace Ozil with Mkhitaryan as a number 10? His best years in Dortmund were under Tuchel and Klopp, who play similar styles to Emery.
So we've got to suggest a system to the new manager. Look, I mean...
Where's the tie today?
Mkhitaryan...
Normally you're in a tie.
I know, I had a chance today, because it's Saturday. Unai Emery has got to find the right system. If he's going to play Mesut Ozil, he knows Mkhitaryan very, very well.
Ozil's up for the chop under Emery if it continues. It's early in the season, but as I said on the show, for those that watched or seen it, he's a £300,000 a week headache for Unai Emery at the moment.
We're running out of time, so sorry, Gab.
And that's...
Go on, quick.
I was just say that's why I don't think he's going to get the chop for a long time. They've just committed an enormous amount of money to him. They have a new manager who's generally insecure at the best of times. He's going to give Ozil every opportunity to go and make this work. I don't see Emery having the personality or the backing to make such a move, nor should he, frankly, because we know that Ozil's going to play better at some point, right? We do know that, maybe.
Well, maybe
no, but that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing, though. You can't
maybe in the smaller games, maybe not the bigger games.
You can't.
That's why it's a £300,000 a week headache, because has he got the stomach to drop him? What are the board going to say? What's Ozil's reaction? The bottom line here is you can't have passengers.
You can't play with 10
He has become that passenger and that headache.
It's as simple as that.
So.
Let's talk about the hot potato that is Jorginho. Stuart Robson, of course, not impressed with him particularly, caused a bit of a storm on Twitter. How would you rate his performance today, Gab? You were there?
I thought he did. I thought he was pretty good. I mean, I think...
Was he the man of the match?
As we said during the show...
I think John Cross, who writes in the Mirror...
Well, he wasn't man of the match, but I think one of the problems you run into, as you guys said, is... You know, when Barkley and Conte press, they leave him on his own. So if the other side breaks the press, then he's just kind of sitting there, and he's a bit of a sitting duck. You know, he doesn't have Conte's quickness or defensive ability. But by the same token, though, in Sarri's system, that role is not a defensive midfield holding role. It's the role of a guy who fills space and builds play. It wouldn't work as well with a traditional defensive midfielder in the role, unless it was like a young Xabi Alonso or somebody like that who could do both sides of the game. So I think you just have to put up with it and find other ways to go and give Chelsea the defensive cover that they need.
Paul, as a former Arsenal man, how do you think Sokratis has done these first two games?
Terrible.
What's his full name, Craig? Craig's very good with the deals.
Papastotopoulos.
There you go.
Right.
Papastotopoulos.
Thank you for that. Look, if he was very impressed. If he was with Koscielny, I feel a lot happier. But the two of those guys together with Mustafi and Sokratis, you saw it today. It was so obvious to me that Morata's lacking in confidence. When the ball went into his feet, they just let him have it. They didn't put any pressure on him. So I'm sorry, I don't see it. You know, I know it's coming from Borussia Dortmund. I know that you know he came in fairly highly rated, but I don't see it. I've no positives for him.
Just remind me a minute, Gab. Just remind me a minute. 1 second. Last year, Napoli under Sarri. What did Napoli win under Sarri?
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is going to be
Here we go.
points
Here
total.
we go.
This has got points total written.
No,
They finished second with one of the top 5 points totals in history.
What trophies did they win under Sarri at Napoli?
You didn't win tin pot. Look, those trophies are all. It's all nonsense. It's knockout competitions. You have to be good, but you also have to be lucky. The only trophy that matters is the league.
I'm not saying
they finished second in the league.
Well, nobody remembers who finished second. Who finished second in the Premier League last year? I can't really remember. Who finished second in Spain?
United.
Who finished second in the Dutch league? I don't really care who finished second.
Look, there's evidence of your anti-United agenda. The fact that you don't remember that Jose Mourinho finished second in the Premier League.
You're right.
His greatest ever achievement.
You're absolutely right. You're right. That's I've just turned it from Napoli to being a bias against
United.
Manchester United. One thing I'm pointing out here, and I'm not saying he's not a good coach, not a good manager, but everybody keeps saying to me the Sarri system.
Yes.
I'll go back to it. At the end of the day, it's about winning trophies. The Klopp system at Liverpool, the Mourinho system at Man United, or whatever system, this is about winning trophies. The Sarri system that people keep saying, and it bores me to death because everybody's an expert now out there on the Sarri system, on this system, on that system. Let's see if he might have to change his system and adapt his system
To the players he's got.
To the players and the players that he signs and the way the things happen in the Premier League to start winning trophies. Chelsea are not interested in finishing second. Chelsea are not interested in not get to the FA Cup final and winning it. They've been a team historically in the last 18 years in particular, whatever it is, the last 20 years, 2 decades, they've won trophies, right? Sarri did not, but as good as it was in the eye and as pleasing it was in the eye, the Sarri system that people keep talking about may have to adapt at some point.
What do you make of Unai Emery's impact and tactics after 2 games?
Who are you talking to?
Whoever wants to answer, and we'll answer quick.
I'm very concerned, Dan. I really am. Look, we give him somewhat of a pass, but it was glaring against Manchester City. The City didn't get out of first gear. They were wide open. And today, I mean, he's sticking with the young lad Guendouzi in the middle of the park, which is very concerning. You could drive a double-decker bus.
You love that analogy.
What do you mean?
That double-decker bus.
Well, all right, a single-decker bus then. But
they're both the same width.
Anybody who watches the Premier League, look, some people may think that it's a breath of fresh air. It isn't. If you're an Arsenal fan, you've played 2 games and you've shipped 5 goals in, and it could have been more. So the system's not working. It's dead simple.
Well, they have played 2 of the better attacking teams in the Premier League. The one thing I would say is if you've got a player in the middle of the park that's not interested in the defensive side of the game, you've got 3 against 2. You get a young guy in Guendouzi he's come in to make his Premier League debut against Man City, and then he's played against Chelsea away. 2 of the biggest games of the season, right? Undoubtedly. And you've got Xhaka, who's next to him, who isn't cutting the mustard in England at Arsenal. He's just not doing it. You've got Touré on the bench, who again was on the bench. I don't know why he was on the bench. There might be a reason.
And Ramsey on the bench.
But that was a surprise. But when you have a player in Ozil who doesn't want to do the defensive side from the number 10 role, straight away, if you do the maths, you've got 3 against 2. You've got Kante, you've got Barkley, and you've got Jorginho, and then you've got 2 Arsenal midfielders scrambling because one's not bothered. That's why, one of the reasons why they're getting stretched in the middle of the park. Once they get stretched in the middle of the park, then the back 4 get stretched, and it's a snowball effect from there.
Finally, did any of you watch the Manchester City All or Nothing documentary? What do you make of Mourinho's comments about City's lack of class?
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's very good.
I've heard lots of good things about it. I don't have Amazon Prime.
I haven't seen it yet.
There we go.
You don't have Prime?
No.
You tight sod. Well, you can get all your parcels dead quick and everything.
I don't have that many parcels.
Maybe your missus does, she just doesn't tell you. Said you're waiting 5 days for it to be posted, so it'll be posted straight away, and it'll be free.
Wow.
Absolute bobbins, I know that because Sam turns up at my house every damn day and I've not ordered it.
Gab, have you seen it?
No, I have not, but I do have Amazon Prime, and wow, Mourinho's comments, I love that. I'm impressed that he's taken the time to see it and form his own opinion on it.
I know, I'm surprised he watched it. Like, why would you watch our arch enemy's documentary? You know,
Well, just in case he picked up some tips in his training, passing the ball around.
There we go.
Everybody's so sensitive, aren't they? Everybody out there is so super sensitive about such stupid trivial stuff. It's only a game of football. Just talking about players. Just talking about it's not life or death.
Yeah.
I mean, just calm down, everybody.
All right, we'll calm down.
Social media, my God, Muppets are on there.
Dan's calm.
Come on, son, get us off. You lied to me today. It was an hour show.
Didn't lie, you didn't ask. Have a lovely holiday, Craig. When are you back next, Paul?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, lovely. Gab, lovely. Right, ESPN FC back tomorrow. What's happening? What are the matches tomorrow? What's happening?
Liverpool.
Liverpool on Monday.
No, they're not.
They are Monday.
All right, well, Monday then. Who's bothered?
Man City playing up beyond the
Man
post.
Oh, United are playing. Oh, we're going
Man City, Huddersfield. Absolute classic.
Oh, yes.